Today, we're exploring something that few people ever think about. What happens in a city when tourists leave? Some places around the world thrive on tourism, but what is life like when the crowds disappear? What happens to the locals, the businesses, and the rhythm of daily life? Let's take a look at the transformations that occur when a city returns to its true self. The boom and bust cycle of tourism. Many cities and towns around the world rely heavily on tourism. During peak seasons, their streets are packed with visitors, hotels are fully booked, and restaurants have long waiting lists. But once the season ends, everything changes. Hotels shut down, restaurants close early or don't open at all, shops reduce their hours, and the once lively streets become eerily quiet. Take Santorini, Greece, for example. In the summer months, cruise ships unload thousands of tourists daily onto the island's whitewashed streets. Hotels, restaurants, and local businesses work at full capacity to serve them. But come winter, most of the shops and accommodations shut down, and only a small percentage of residents remain. The island, which feels alive and vibrant during peak season, suddenly returns to a slow and peaceful existence. The locals, accustomed to catering to the endless flow of visitors, now enjoy a much-needed break. Some use this time to renovate their businesses, while others reconnect with their families and the traditional ways of life that often take a backseat during the high season. What happens to the businesses? For many cities, tourism is the lifeblood of the local economy. Hotels, souvenir shops, and guided tour services make the bulk of their income during the high season. When tourists leave, some businesses shut down completely, while others switch to serving only the local population. In Venice, Italy, many restaurants that cater to tourists close entirely in the off-season. However, small family-run trattorias, which rely on local customers, continue to operate. This shift separates the businesses built solely for tourists from those deeply rooted in the city's culture. During these quieter months, local markets that are usually flooded with tourists become true community spaces again, where residents buy fresh produce and socialize without the usual crowds. In Bali, Indonesia, where tourism plays a major role in the economy, the impact of an off-season is felt deeply. Many people in Bali work in tourism-related jobs, from hotel staff to street vendors. When the season ends, some workers return to their home villages, taking on different jobs like farming or fishing until the tourists return. This seasonal migration of workers is a fascinating phenomenon that keeps many communities in balance, ensuring that traditional industries are still maintained alongside tourism. Locals reclaim their cities. For locals, the departure of tourists brings a sense of relief. Cities that were overcrowded suddenly become walkable again. In Prague, Czech Republic, locals often avoid the old town square during peak months because it's too packed with visitors. But when the tourists leave, they reclaim their public spaces, enjoying the beauty of their own city without the noise and congestion. Similarly, in Kyoto, Japan, famous sites like Fushimi Inari Shrine or the Arashiyama Bamboo Forest are swarmed with visitors in spring and autumn. But during the quieter months, locals finally get to enjoy their cultural landmarks in peace. Many residents even take advantage of the off-season to engage in cultural traditions that have been overshadowed by mass tourism, such as community festivals and heritage restoration projects. The environmental impact. Tourism leaves a massive environmental footprint. When tourists leave, nature often begins to recover. Beach towns see cleaner waters, hiking trails regenerate, and pollution levels drop. Take Boracay, Philippines as an example. In 2018, the island was temporarily closed to visitors due to environmental damage caused by mass tourism. Beaches were polluted, coral reefs were damaged, and the island's ecosystem was under threat. After a 6-month closure, Boracay was able to recover significantly. This highlights how much tourism can impact a place and how quickly nature can heal once it stops. Similarly, in Barcelona, Spain, air pollution levels drop outside of peak tourist season due to fewer flights and less traffic from taxis and tour buses. Many locals report that their quality of life improves significantly during these months as they can breathe cleaner air and move around their city more freely. Some governments are even introducing seasonal environmental policies, such as car-free zones and waste reduction programs, to help maintain these improvements year-round. How cities adapt. Some cities embrace the quiet off-season and cater to different types of visitors. Reykjavik, Iceland, for example, sees a shift in tourism patterns. While the summer brings people who want to experience the famous midnight sun, the winter attracts visitors eager to see the northern lights. By adjusting their offerings, cities can smooth out the highs and lows of seasonal tourism. Other places turn to alternative industries to keep their economy stable. In Cinque Terre, Italy, once heavily reliant on tourism, locals have begun reviving traditional industries like fishing and winemaking to supplement their income when tourism slows. Additionally, some cities are experimenting with remote work incentives, encouraging professionals to move in during the off-season to keep local economies active year-round. The psychological shift. For those who live in tourist-heavy destinations, the seasonal shift can be dramatic. During peak months, residents often feel overwhelmed, avoiding certain areas and adapting their daily routines to accommodate visitors. But when the tourists leave, there's a deep sense of reclaiming normal life. In Dubrovnik, Croatia, the contrast is extreme. During the summer, the city is filled with thousands of visitors daily due to its fame as a filming location for Game of Thrones. Locals complain about the overwhelming crowds, but in winter, Dubrovnik transforms into a peaceful town where residents reconnect with their community. It is during this time that local festivals and gatherings flourish, strengthening the bonds between those who call the city home. The two faces of a city. Tourism brings life, jobs, and opportunities to many cities, but it also comes with challenges. When the tourists leave, a city breathes, slows down, and returns to its original rhythm. Some places struggle with the loss of business, while others embrace the return to normalcy. For locals, it's a reminder that their city has two faces, one that caters to visitors and one that belongs solely to them. As more destinations experiment with sustainable tourism and alternative economic models, the balance between peak and off-season living may become more stable in the future. Until then, these cycles will continue to shape the lives of millions of people around the world. Have you ever experienced the drastic transformation of a city between peak and off-season? What differences stood out the most to you? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Local Experience for more deep dives into fascinating cultural insights. See you in the next video.